Welcome to our channel. Today, in this video we have mentioned 10 top-rated games that are heavily discounted between 80 to 90% in Steam during the ongoing winter sale. This is part 3 of the winter sale series, and we have mentioned more top-rated discounted games on earlier part, so make sure to check them out as well. So, without wasting more time, let's begin with this video. Starting with The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is an action role-playing game with a third-person perspective. The game takes place in a fictional fantasy world based on Slavic mythology, where players control Geralt of Rivia, a monster slayer for hire known as a Witcher, and is tasked to search for his adopted daughter, who is on the run from the otherworldly Wild Hunt. Players battle the game's many dangers with weapons and magic, interact with non-player characters, and complete quests to acquire experience points and gold, which are used to increase Geralt's abilities and purchase equipment. The game's story has 3 possible endings, determined by the player's choices at key points in the narrative. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is currently on 80% discounted price. Next on the list we got Titanfall 2. Similar to its predecessor, Titanfall 2 is a first-person shooter, where players can control both a pilot and their Titans, which are mecha-style exoskeletons, who are agile and equipped with a variety of skills ranging from wall-running to cloaking. Titanfall 2 is set in a science fiction universe, and the single-player campaign follows the story of Jack Cooper, a rifleman from the Frontier Militia, who bonds with his mentor's Titan, killed in action. Together, they embark on a quest to stop the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation from launching a superweapon that is threatening to destroy the militia planet. Titanfall 2 is currently on 84% discounted price. Moving on to Tekken 7. Tekken 7 is a fighting game, which takes place shortly after the events of Tekken 6. The plot focuses on the events leading up to the final battle between martial artist Heihachi Mishima and his son, Kazuya. Tekken 7 introduces several new elements to the fighting system, such as rage arts and the power crush mechanic, making the game more beginner-friendly than previous iterations in the series. Tekken 7 is currently on 85% discounted price. Next, we got Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a third-person action-adventure game, in which players control Lara Croft, as she ventures into Siberia, in search of the legendary city of Kitezh, while battling the paramilitary organization named Trinity, which intends to uncover the city's promise of immortality. Lara must traverse the environment, and combat enemies with firearms and stealth, as she explores semi-open hubs. In these hubs she can raid, challenge tombs to unlock new rewards, complete side missions, and scavenge for resources which can be used to craft useful materials. Rise of the Tomb Raider is currently on 80% discounted price. Next on the list we have Naruto Shippuden: Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. Naruto Shippuden: Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 is a fighting game, where the narrative follows Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha, as they participate in the Fourth Shinobi World War against the terrorist organization named Akatsuki, and they both unite to defeat it. Similar to Storm 3, the game uses regular fighting systems. However, players can switch among a team of 3 fighters who can assist each other. Other returning elements involve boss fights, where quick-time events are required to reach hidden scenes and hack-and-slash areas. Naruto Shippuden: Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 is currently on 80% discounted price. Moving on to Outlast 2. Outlast 2 is a first-person psychological horror survival game. The game features a journalist, named Blake Langerman, who along with his wife, Lynn, roaming the Arizona desert to explore the murder of a pregnant woman. Both get separated in a helicopter crash, and Blake has to find his wife while traveling through a village inhabited by a deranged sect that believes the end of days are upon them. Outlast 2 is currently on 85% discounted price. Next we got Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ is a 2.5D fighting game, where each player select 3 characters to form a team from an initial roster of characters from the Dragon Ball franchise. One character is controlled and can be switched with one of the other characters at any time. Players can also call one of their other characters to perform an assist move, allowing simultaneous attacks and combos with the entire team. All 3 characters on the same team must be defeated for a player to win the game. If either team has been defeated before the time runs out, the team that has sustained the least damage overall wins. Dragon Ball FighterZ is currently on 85% discounted price. Next on the list we got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is an action-adventure game, played from a third-person perspective. The story is set in the Star Wars universe, 5 years after Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. It follows Jedi Cal Kestis, who becomes a target of the Galactic Empire, and is hunted throughout the galaxy by the Imperial Inquisitors while attempting to complete his training. The player is tasked to reconcile with his troubled past and rebuild the fallen Jedi Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is currently on 88% discounted price. Moving on to XCOM 2. In XCOM 2, the player character is the commander of the XCOM military organization that is now reduced to a resistance force, opposing the ongoing alien occupation of Earth. It is played from a top-down perspective. The game uses turn-based tactics, in which players issue commands to a squad of human soldiers to eliminate the aliens in a map and are dependent on missions along with secondary objectives. Many of the missions are timed, requiring players to complete it within several turns. Maps are procedurally generated to create a wide variety of levels, and every map features different terrain and buildings in each playthrough. XCOM 2 is currently on 90% discounted price. And finally on today's list, we got Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Sid Meier's Civilization 6 is a turn-based strategy game, where the goal for the player is to develop a civilization, from an early settlement through many in-game millennia, to become a world power, and achieve one of several victory conditions, such as through military domination, technological superiority, or cultural influence, over the other human and computer-controlled opponents. Players do this by exploring the world, finding new cities, building city improvements, deploying military troops to attack and defend themselves from others, researching new technologies and civics advancements, developing an influential culture, and engaging in trade and negotiations with other world leaders. Sid Meier's Civilization 6 is currently on 90% discounted price. So that's it for today's video. I hope you found this helpful and interesting. And if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon to stay updated to our new videos.